Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone, my lecturer and my classmates. We are from group 1 and we will explain about techniques. Actually, this material is still about grammar translation method, and now the material will be explained is about descriptions of some common or typical techniques closely associated with the grammar translation method. Okay, there are 9 points and they will be explained by our group. The first point is translation of a literary passage. Students translate a reading passage from the target language into their native language. The reading passage focuses on several classes, vocabulary and grammatical structures in the passage. The passage may be excerpted from some work from the target language literature, or a teacher may write a passage carefully designed to include particular grammar rules and vocabulary. The translation may be written or spoken or both. Students should not translate idioms and the like literally, but rather in a way that shows that they understand their meaning. The second point is reading comprehension questions. Students answer questions in the target language based on their understanding of the reading passage. The questions are sequenced so that the first group of questions ask from information contained within the reading passage. Jadi di poin kedua ini siswa menjawab pertanyaan dalam bahasa target berdasarkan pemahamannya tentang halaman bacaan tersebut. And the third point is antonyms or synonyms atau perlawanan dan persamaan kata. Students are given one set of words and are asked to find antonyms in the reading passage. Students could also be asked to find synonyms for a particular set of words. Students might be asked to define a set of words based on their understanding of them as they occur in the reading passage.
For cognitives, students are taught to recognize cognitives by learning the spelling or sound patterns that correspond between the language. Students are also asked to memorize words and look like cognitives but have meanings in the target language that are different from those in the native language. 5. Deductive application of rule. Grammar rules are present with example. Exceptions to its rule are also noted. When students understand a rule, they are asked to apply to it some different examples. 6. Fill in the blanks. Students are given a series of sentences with words missing. They fill in the blanks with new vocabulary item or with item or a particular grammar type, such as preposition or verb with different sentence.
Memorizations. Students are given lists of target language vocabulary words and their native language equivalents and are asked to memorize them. Students are also encouraged to memorize grammatical rules and grammatical paradigms such as verb conjugation. Use word in sentence. In order to show that students understand the meaning and use of a new vocabulary item, They make up sentences in which they use the new words. Compositions. The teacher gives a student a topic to write about in the target language. The topic is based upon some aspect of the reading passage of the lesson. Sometimes, instead of creating a composition, students are asked to prepare a preface of the reading passage.
Okay, now I will explain about merits or advantages. 1. The target language is quickly explained in grammar translation method. Translation is the easiest way of explaining meanings or words and phrases from one language into another. Any other method of explaining vocabulary items in the second language is found time consuming. A lot of time is wasted if the meanings of lexical items are explained through definition and illustration in the second language. Further, learners acquire some sort of accuracy in understanding synonyms in the search language and the target language. 2. Teacher and students are easy to communicate or it doesn't need native language. Teachers' labor is saved since the textbooks are taught through the medium of the mother tongue. The teacher may ask comprehension questions on the next talk in the mother tongue. Pupils will not have much difficulty in responding to questions on the mother tongue, so the teacher can easily assess whether the students have learned what he has taught them. Communication between the teacher and the learners doesn't cause linguistic problems. Even teachers who are not fluent in English can teach English through this method. That is perhaps the reason why this method has been practiced so widely and has survived so long. 3. The student easy to understand because of grammatical lessons. ESL students taught successfully under the grammar translation method will have the ability to translate even difficult texts from their native language into English. They possess a thorough knowledge of English grammar, including verb tenses. The student will be familiar with several classical pieces of English literature, which are used from grammatical analysis and exercises. Okay, next, demerits or disadvantages. 1. No scope for effective communication and very tedious for learners. Direct translation is widely regarded as an inefficient way of becoming fluent in any language. For example, translating a sentence word for word from Spanish to English might not result in a sentence with the same meaning because so little attention is paid in class to listening and speaking. Students with years of English lessons through this method are often unable to hold even a basic conversation in English because classes with this method are usually taught in a lecture style, with the teacher mostly speaking the student's native language rather than English. Class can be dull and cause students to lose interest. 2. Ineffective method. It is a teaching method which studies a foreign language in order to read its literature, focusing on the analysis of its grammar rules and to translate sentences and text into and out the target language. 3. More importance on grammar rules than on meaning. Exact translation is not possible. Translation is indeed a difficult task, and exact translation from one language to another is not always possible. A language is the result of various customs, tradition, and modes of behavior of a speech community, and these traditions differ from community to community. 4. Slow learning rate and making learners think in L1. It doesn't give pattern practice. A person can learn a language only when he internalizes patterns to extend that they from his habit. But the grammar translation method doesn't provide any such practice to the learner of a language. It rather attempts to teach language through rules and not by use. Okay, maybe enough from us. If we have some mistakes, we have your pardon a lot. And the last we say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.